Welcome to Lacrosse Classified, your go-to source for all things NLL and box lacrosse. We will bring you the biggest names and best storylines in the world every single week. So settle down and listen up. It's time for Lax Class.
What's going on, lacrosse fans? Welcome back to Lacrosse Classified. Lax Class is now in session 364 is the episode that you're listening to. It's Jake Elliott. It's Lucas Arger back with you. Lucas, Largy, how's it going? We're inching our way to the beginning of the NLL season, and with each passing podcast means we're getting a week closer, and it won't be long now, my friend. How's it going?
It's going well, man. Thanks. Had a fun weekend myself. Consumed a little bit of lacrosse, as I'm sure you did, in both box lacrosse, some NLL preseason action, and some Kufla past weekend, which was fun. I stayed home for the Snow Bowl. Probably shouldn't have, but I did, and had some other family plans going on, so I'm doing well, and just got done some Christmas shopping this morning.
Christmas shopping?
Yep.
You're one of those. Early. I mean, that's early, Lucas.
Oh, no.
November?
No. If you asked me this question back in July, I was Christmas shopping too.
Oh, my God. When does Funky, like, she just does it all year long? She stocks up.
Oh, she does it all year round. She probably started in February. She's been doing it all year.
That's where you get it from, I'm sure. Well, you didn't ask me, but I'm going to tell you what I did on my weekend anyways. I went to... What did I do? I don't even... Danny was away in Boston all week long. She went back there to watch one of her good friends' son play hockey. He plays for Cornell, but they were playing at Harvard and I think Dartmouth. And she had always wanted to go to Boston. So she went, we sold her dad's truck and she booked a flight to Boston, went to Cape Cod and did all these things. So I had the entire weekend. No Saturday this week, Lucas, but I didn't do a whole lot. Like, I watched a shit ton of sports, essentially, is what I did. I can't really recall. There was, like, Vancouver Warriors didn't have training camp. There was no, like, disc golf tournaments I could enter into with a weekend free, so just kind of hung out there. I mean, it was a good weekend for sports, but not a lot going on in that regard. It is, in fact, Tuesday, November the 11th here today, and I wasn't really thinking about it when I kind of scheduled the show this week. Shamefully on me, I'm going to be recording right at 11:11 here on November 11th, which of course here in Canada is Remembrance Day, Veterans Day down south of the border. So during our interview, our first one anyways, that will come up in quarter number 2, which is the general manager of the Philadelphia Wings in Paul Day, who is a retired police officer, will I'm sure understand the fact that I'm probably going to take a little pause at 11:11 and just have a moment here on the West Coast. So Paul Day is coming up in quarter number 2. Quarter 3, well, here's where things get a little funky. Not that funky, different funky. I've been efforting the owner and general manager of the Halifax Thunderbirds, Kurt Stiers, for quite some time, weeks in fact. And, I've mentioned this numerous times, but texting with Kurt can be interesting, I will say. And I've gotten varied responses. So finally, long story short here, I've just sent Kurt the invite. I said, here's what time I'd like you to be here. Now, whether Kurt clicks on that link at the appropriate time is to be determined. So hopefully Kurt Stiers from the Halifax Thunderbirds will join us in quarter number 3, but there's also a strong possibility he may not do that. So we'll see what happens there, but we're still going to have our Lax Class Lock of the Week. No loss last week, no win either, but we're going to do that again this week. Player props are starting to fill the channels over there at Coolbet. Lots of seasonal player props available, and we're going to piece one together here for the Lax Class Lock of the Week. Coming up, along with a little quick update on Who You Got. I'm going to do this every week until we get going, so look forward to a little more Who You Got talk in quarter number 4 as well. And I failed to mention Up here in the first quarter of action, Goalie Factory Goalie of the Week, Rycor Construction, Big Focus is coming up as well. So big program here, Lucas. Let's look forward to it.
I am all set. Gonna be a good one, and I know you're eager for today's episode. I am too.
Oh, I forgot to mention this. Well, the couple of things I wanted to mention. People are starting to come back into the ether here. Like, we roll 52 weeks a year. Or at least we try to, for the most part. Maybe a week here, a week there. But for the most part, we rock it around the calendar. A lot of guys take breaks for certain times and what have you. So with that being said, I want to make mention here, Off the Crossbar with Teddy and Pat is back on the airways. They're coming out usually Thursdays, I want to say. Brad Challoner's podcast, Coaches Calls, will make its return, I want to say the 22nd, 24th, something like that, and will come out on Mondays. I think he's got a bunch of interviews already kind of stacked up, so he'll just start releasing those on Mondays. The Lacrosse Matrix with Adam Levy also making its return. And you can get signed up for Preston's picks as well as Who Ya Gott if you want to do that, as well as he's doing a little pick and pool over there at the Lacrosse Matrix. Anything Lax, new kind of podcast that has hit the scene. I can't remember the young man's name that's doing it. Do you know it off the top of your head, Lucas?
I believe his name is Jake McDougal. I'll fact check that, but
right.
He's been messaging me a little bit too, so he's got a show coming out.
Okay, so anything Lax, if you want to check that out, I think YouTube is probably the best bet to do that. Of course, large Michael Kervalis is back with Daily Dive on a regular basis, and his claim to fame, of course, is that he is the only running daily lacrosse show, which he is. So you can check out Daily Dive if you would like to do that. I think Mackie Jenner might have been on there today. What else can I tell you? Loose Mesh. These guys are coming out with a podcast. I haven't seen it yet. They've announced that they've got one coming. Nice, interesting mix of co-hosts here, Lucas, as you have DJ Dawson J. Nielsen, another newcomer to the scene. You have Steve Toll, of course, former head coach of the St. Catharines Athletics and NLL Hall of Famer. And then Elliot Frickman, the man of the streets, Ryan McMichael, who has been breaking NLL news fast and furiously for the last little while as well. So DJ, the Frickman, and Toller coming out with a podcast, Loose Mesh. I'm looking forward to hearing this. And then, of course, you got the morning shoot-around guys with Tyler Pace, Christian Del Bianco, and Santino Farah, who have been a little sporadic with the way they have released their podcast, but hopefully they get a little more consistent as the NLL season goes along. But, I just listed off what was that? And there's more, right? There's Dan Arestia. He's got his going. He talks a little NLL there. So if I failed to kind of mention anybody, I apologize, but that's a lot of
there's
content.
One more I want to throw in there. Well, you mentioned Mackie Jenner, her and Cooper Perkins, NLL
Are
box
they back?
out.
Are they back?
I've heard that they are, or they're supposed to be.
Okay, so yeah, check that out as well with Coop and Mac when that makes its return. Point being, there is a ton of lacrosse content out there, especially with the NLL season starting up, and I encourage everybody to go listen to all of it.
100%. It doesn't matter if you're new to the NLL or you've been a longtime fan, such as myself and Jake listeners. If you want to consume content on many different levels, yet different perspectives, listen to new interviewees and chats with guests and everybody, new hot takes, go consume all the content that you can, whether it's Daily Dive on YouTube or podcasts in your ears or conversations with other people. Just hit play on something and listen for X amount of time to consume all of the NLL's content within the week before the next week of games and next wave. And speaking of next waves, I think we're riding one into the big focus. Is that where we're headed?
Oh, nice little transition segue right there, Lucas. Let's do it. Let's get into it right here. Big focus.
Big focus.
Big focus.
Focus. Other than a big focus.
Focus.
Big focus.
Big focus. Big focus.
Big focus. It's a big focus, big focus, big focus, big focus.
Big focus. All right, not a huge week as far as the news cycle goes. Oh, big focus this week, brought to you by the Rycor Construction Company, of course. Rycor Construction, they make it stand out. We're talking 20 years of experience here in the construction industry, quality craftsmanship, exceptional client experience, and all the renos you can imagine or handle. Kitchens, bathrooms, fencing, decks, flooring, backyard transformations, all can be done, and they will all stand out when they are complete. At Rycor Construction Inc., see for yourself or check out www.rycorconstruction.ca, and you can peruse around their website and get a hold of these guys when you need to get some renos done. Rycor Construction, they make it stand out. This week, Lucas, like I said, kind of a slow news cycle as far as NLL news goes. But a lot of teams in action during training camp this weekend, and a bunch of exhibition games went down. Only one on the plus this past weekend, Toronto and Saskatchewan. Speaking of that, hopefully I can say this. I haven't got like 1,000% confirmation yet, but I'm pretty sure the Vancouver-San Diego game this Saturday will be up on NLL Plus this weekend as well. Hopefully I'm not jumping the shark there, but if I am, I apologize.
Fun. Little West Coast preseason action. I can get behind that.
All right. I think it might be a 6 o'clock. So like 9 o'clock start back there for you. But from the field house, and I think I got the field house is a bit of a funky building. Like they made the rink in there as big as possible. So like at the ends of the arena, guys like myself can't really slither along in between the wall and the end of the boards. Like it's that tight to the wall. Anyways, they only have like a little perch up in the corner. They call it the crow's nest. So I'll be calling a game with players running towards me and running away from me, which is as you know, not ideal. But it's not about me, Lucas. I'm going to put this out there for the fans that want to check out NLL Plus, a little exhibition this weekend. Vancouver, San Diego from the field house in Langley.
Well, that'll be fun. I'll be able to watch that right after I watch Toronto and Colorado, which is coming up again on the Plus. But before we talk about those games coming up, Toronto and Sask played each other this past weekend.
They did. A nice full house there at the track. And you had even they're not called the Rockettes. I don't know what the rock dancers are. They're not allowed to be called the Rockettes, but the rock, like he had it all going on there to JD. Like the cheerleaders were going.
The Rock City packed. Dancers is what they go by. And yes, they do it. They do it right. They bring everybody out. They make it feel like it's an actual regular season game. Obviously, you can't pack as many fans in the track as they can in the Hammer, but they do give it the atmosphere that's needed. And speaking of the Rock,
another gross win by the Broncos as well. By the way, they got the W, didn't cover the 8.5 points, but Broncos with another victory there for Jamie. So and the Rock, I mean, with pretty impressive. I know, like, I'll preface all of this by saying, like, it's preseason, it's exhibition games, you're having split squad rosters, you're having guys sitting out, you're having, your third and your fourth goaltenders get a look here, a lot of moving pieces. So I'm not putting a whole lot, if any, stock into some of these scores, but this is what we're talking about here on the Big Focus. 17-10. I will say CJ Kirst, old Hiltzy there, looking pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. That left side is going to be fun to watch. But something else I want to get in here quickly, Jake, before we get into recapping the game, is the Rock announced their broadcast crew last week before their game. And, a good buddy of mine that I've gotten to know over the past couple of years, you met him this year. We had him on the pod. Lacrosse boss, Matty Carrick. getting his shot with an NLL team. He is the new voice of the Toronto Rock, joining Brian Shanahan and Ashley Docking as their crew this year on TSN Plus. And I gotta say, for the listeners out there that follow the OJLL, Oakville Rock for the MSL, and even in junior A hockey here in Ontario, if you know Matt Carrick, you're gonna love hearing him on the mic for professional NLL games. He has the perfect play-by-play voice, maybe coming in second to Jake Elliott, but his voice is absolutely amazing. I love calling games with him, and I'm so happy that an NLL team's giving him a shot.
Yeah, I probably met Lacrosse Boss before you did, Lucas, so just simmer down over there. That wasn't the first time I'd met Matt last year. And we've been clamoring on this podcast for quite some time. We had him on just prior to, well, just at the end of the summer, I think, prior to the President's Cup, and I was like, somebody give this man a shot. And Jamie Dowick and the Toronto Rock have done it. I'm happy to see it. And, you know, unfortunately for Matt, not to kind of piss on the parade here, but the Toronto Rock get on TSN quite a bit as far as their home games. So it'll be a limited number of games for Matt in his first year, but things can change pretty quickly in this league, and we'll see how it goes. But I think that's a great trio there with Ash, Shanny, and the boss of lacrosse. Congratulations to him. Other preseason scores here. Calgary. This is what I'm talking about. Like, everybody's predicting Calgary is going to be in for a tough season here, and I am probably in that camp as well. But mind you, he's looking pretty good. Like, he's leaned out a little bit. He's looking fresh. He's looking hungry, and he's going to get the most out of that roster. But 2-0 here for Calgary as they beat Rochester and Buffalo. That's a nice little weekend there for the Riggers.
Definitely. For a team that, lost a lot of pieces, for them to come out in training camp, give their young guns a go. I believe both Noah Manning and I heard, was it that game against Buffalo that there was a preseason tilt, or was it the night before in Rochester?
Yeah, it was Rochester. I think Brad McCulley, I don't know Justin Morgan all that well, but I think Justin Morgan got to know Brad McCulley's fists pretty well. That's not a guy, credit to him, but Brad's and I didn't really know this about Brad during his junior career and stuff, but he's kind of likes to fight guy, and he's good at it. So tough one there for Justin, but preseason, things will happen. Boys will be boys. What else? I think Manning had 5 goals in that preseason as well, so he's looking good for the Roughnecks. What can we tell you? 14-14 or 14-13, depends who you ask. Colorado thinks it was a tie, or no, Halifax thinks it was a tie. Colorado thinks they won.
I think it was a tie. That's what I heard.
All right, we'll go with the tie. Georgia gets past Ottawa by 1. The Desert Dogs beat Oshawa by 2. And Rochester beat Philadelphia by 4. Speaking of Philadelphia, we are going to talk some Wings with the general manager of the Wings, in Paul Day. But before we do that, got to put in a little work, Lucas. We got to head to the factory of goalies. The Goalie Factory Goalie of the Week.
Big save, Giuliano. Rebound call, Crime Stoppers. Vince just scored a goalie goal. Jameson somehow comes up with the stop. Larceny.
And here's Shane Jackson off the bench. And there's Christian Del Bianco with a stick side save.
Goalie Factory Goalie of the Week is brought to you by, you guessed it, the Goalie Factory. At Goalie Factory _ is where you want to go. Their sign-up link, their link to their website, the link to their merch, it's all there under their link tree in their bio, at Goalie Factory _ whether it be on TikTok, Facebook. Speaking of TikTok, I'm in the gym yesterday, Lucas, and, they have kind of a separate studio area where you can do some stretching. You can, they got the battle ropes, they got the TRX stuff. It's a big kind of a dance studio kind of area. Well, a certain patron took that to heart yesterday as set up the tripod on the kind of the step jump in front of the mirror. We're talking, this is a public fitness area, and this person is literally recording TikTok dances, where I'm trying to do a little kettlebell swing here. What are you? Anyways, Goalie Factory, you can get coaching on the Zoom. You can get specific training programs. You can work with them in person out there in Langley as well. Caleb, Marcus Kahn, Riley Brown, Curtis Armstrong, they're all going to make you better at playing the sport of box lacrosse goalie. Check him out at Goalie Factory _. Let's not waste any more time. Let's head straight for the city of brotherly love. He might be there. He might not be. But we're going to talk to him next. The general manager of the Philadelphia Wings, Paul Day, is next. Oh, we can't get to break quite yet, Lucas. We're going to have to redo that because I just realized we forgot to mention the actual goaltender of the week for the Goalie Factory. Let's do that before we get to Paul Day. The Goalie Factory Goalie of the Week, Logan Pagano. Am I saying that right?
Yes, you are. Logan Pagano, Kufla champion. Been 9 years since the Guelph Griffins won the Begataway Cup title, Canadian University Field Lacrosse Championship in the Snow Bowl, nonetheless.
Nobody
I know
shoveled
many
the
people,
field. Why did
they were
nobody shovel? They did.
Yeah, they
Okay.
did. They were shoveling it all morning, all day. There was so much snow on the ground, and it was snowing during the game. They had to go to an orange ball so that everybody could see see the ball. White ball and white snow doesn't go the best, but it was a great game. Guelph dominated over Nipissing. I do have to say though, congratulations to Guelph. My sister goes there, and I've known multiple buddies that have gone to University of Guelph and have done well. But I have to say, what Nipissing University has been able to build and what they're striving towards over the past couple of years, having Jason Knox, Halifax Thunderbirds player there, is something special. And the fact that they made it to a Begataway Cup final, first time in program history, and came close to winning it. I get they lost by 10 goals, but
where is Nipissing?
Nipissing is up in North Bay.
Okay.
North Bay, Ontario.
It doesn't look like that when you kind of look like you want to read it. It kind of looks
it
like
doesn't, but it's up north, and they've been building with Knox and a couple other players, so they had a good season. And again, first time in a Begataway Cup final in program history. Knox has one more year of eligibility left. Congrats to Pagano, Goalie Factory of the Week, or Goalie of the Week, I should say, and to all of the Griffins on their sixth title in program history, but their first one in 9 years.
Go Griffins. Go Griffins. I'm going to be heading out disc golfing in shorts and a long sleeve t-shirt later today, by the way. It's pretty nice here on the West Coast in November. All right, let's see how the weather is maybe in Philadelphia. Let's take a break now. General manager of the Philadelphia Wings, friend of the show, one of our favorites, Paul Day, joins us next. Stay classified.
This is Zach Mans. You're listening to Lax Class.
Welcome back to Lacrosse Classified. Quarter number 2 is underway. And it's brought to you by Edge Dynamics. Where you can find them is edgedynamics.ca. You can find them on social media as well at Edge Dynamics Digital. And at Edge Dynamics, they understand that every brand has its own distinct story and potential. Their mission is to help you unlock that potential by crafting marketing strategies that resonate with your target audience and drive measurable results. I mean, if that doesn't make sense, I don't know how else to say it to you. EdgeDynamics.ca, sharpen your brand on a global level. Listen, I know there's minor organizations out there, where they're struggling a little bit. Paul, you can probably speak to this as well. They need some extra support. They might not have a lot of people helping, volunteering, trying to get things off the ground, get more kids registered, get all that sort of stuff. Think no further. If you're one of those teams, one of those organizations, get in touch with Edge Dynamics, and they're going to help prop you up and maximize your limited resources. So take advantage of this. Paul, back on the show. It's been quite some time. You kind of fended me off there for a little bit. You're like, I'm kind of taking a step back here. I don't want to be doing these sort of things. You get Ian, go get Tracy. I'm finally glad you came around here. And first and foremost, man, my condolences on the passing of your father. And I know that's one of the most difficult things a man can go through in his life. So I've been thinking about you for the last couple of weeks, and I appreciate you making some time here to talk some lacrosse with me.
Oh, thanks, Jumbo. I think stepping away, I think it's good, Tracy and Patty McCready and Brubes to be able to, start to build their brand. I've been in the league since 1991, so important for them. And, important me to let them kind of take control of the ship too. But appreciate that. Yeah, my dad refereed lacrosse for pretty much 50 years, even reffed a field game in February. So he was a pretty type A guy. Out for his 10K walk every day, moved back to my sister's in Peterborough, and he went quick, so it was great. And at 87 years old, you can't ask for anything other than that to be out for your 10K walk in the morning, go to Tim Hortons, and probably had a stroke. And think if we can all go quick at 87 after out for a 10K walk, we'd be pretty
Yeah.
fortunate. So
I
appreciate that.
I was gonna say, like, if that's the way to go, I mean, that's the way to go. 1991,
Yeah.
since you've been in the National Lacrosse League, you've seen a lot of things in those times. What was I just reading here, Paul? You are in the Canadian Lacrosse Hall of Fame, and I don't. Are you in the NLL Hall of Fame yet?
No. Hopefully
Okay,
I can.
that's coming.
Hopefully, I got a few.
That-
Hopefully, I got a few more years left in the league that I can wait. I'm 57 now, so hopefully
okay.
get to 60 would be nice. Keep in the league.
Well, you got, what did I see here? 9 league finals appearances, capturing 5 as a player, coach, or general manager. That's a lot of times in the NLL finals. Let's get into some Philadelphia Wings here, Paul, and it's going to be a new look in Philadelphia, I would say, this coming season. We were just kind of chatting prior to hitting the record button. What'd you say? First and second year players a bounty in Philadelphia training camp this year.
Yeah, we had 13 rookies in camp and 5 second-year players. So obviously Brennan O'Neill, Mike Sowers. Great Mike get his first full camp. We didn't trade for him till late January last year. Dalton Young, who people probably don't know a lot about, but is going to be a horse in the league. Played our last 3 or 4 games and then had his second great year and went to the final with the Denver Outlaws. Played a lot of box in that college box league and just fell in love with the game after going to the University of Richmond, Virginia with Ryan Lanchberry. Kind of got introduced to the game by guys at school and just fell in love with box lacrosse. So yeah, quite a few young guys, and quite a few guys. I think we had 12 or 13 new guys last year. When you think of Nick Demuth, Corbeil, Liam Patton, guys like that came into the group. So we'll be young for sure, but it was a good first weekend at camp. We had 13 guys in the lineup against Rochester. I think we lost 12-8, but the guys battled. So it was good to see the compete level. But we expect that we'll be able to make some changes here over the next 2 or 3 weeks before camp finishes. Whether we make some trades or bring in some more veterans from other teams. But we know we're not done. Our right side offensively, Joey's in unbelievable shape. He's probably our fittest guy at camp right now on the offense, which is a lot to say when, we know how old Joe is, but came in
That's
camp in
crazy.
unbelievable shape.
That's
It is.
crazy, Paul.
Our first set of sprints, he was way ahead, and I was like, what is happening here?
He's
But
getting better. Like he's getting better as he gets
well,
older.
yeah, he works, he works down for the Seneca Nation at an arena. So every time I talk to him at the arena, every time I talk to him, he's working out. So, I mean, hey, he takes care of his body. He had a career year last year, over 110 points, So, and fantastic guy. We've also signed Eric Fennell, who's, coming off knee injuries last year, was a bit slow, admittedly. Took the summer off, spent time with some speed work. He's 7% body fat right now. And one of the drills we were doing, I saw him run by a rookie to the bench, and I was pretty excited. He ran by some guys. He looks great, and he's excited to work with Brennan, and a big body to work with.
He might be the
Brennan.
perfect guy to work with Brennan. Hey, I mean, just doesn't need the ball on his stick. Will not shy to get physical. And he's going to play his role. And I think if he got a healthy Fennell doing that, that's going to mean big things for Brennan.
Yeah, and I think he's, obviously people probably don't know, grew up as a goalie, went to Ohio State as a tackman. So I think, we all know goalies. Like Chugger's one of my best friends in the game, and the goalies in lacrosse, they have crazy brains. Like they're smart. They see the game. That's the way he thinks. Talked to him a lot in August before free agency actually opened up. We could talk to guys. We just couldn't sign guys. And, he talked a lot about watching video on Brennan and what he thinks he can do to help him. So then, we picked up Landon Sinfield. He played in the President's
I got
Cup.
my Muskie shirt on right now, Paul.
Yeah.
And firsthand look at this kid in the Prezi Lucas as well. super impressed with this Sinfield kid.
Yeah, and tall, lean, kind of never stops moving, which we really like. I mean, Nick had him on me in the summer early, and I talked to him during the Presidents, and he's 23 years old, and no one knows about him. I think that's kind of what us as the Wings expect right now. No one's going to talk about us. That's fine. We've spent money the past 3 or 4 years. Bring this big name in, bring that big name in. Well, we won 13 games the last 2 years. It didn't work. So if I'm a fan sitting there, I'd expect us to make changes. But you look at Saskatchewan, you look at Oshawa, two young teams that went to the final the last couple of years. It took a couple of years, but the youth in our league right now, you guys talking about Kufla, the youth in our league right now is pretty important, and they're impressive. And we expect him to be able to make an impact this year. We're hopeful for him. He's in great shape. I like the way he moves without the ball. I like the way he shoots, and he's really responsible, and he's physical when he sets picks. He sets picks with his body, kind of like Dan Stroop in the old days. So yeah, we're excited. It's going to be a different offense, a different look, but we need a different look. It didn't work last year.
Paul, switching to the defense, obviously a big loss when Scott Dominey went down, but provide us with an injury update on him. What's the latest on him? Was he with you at camp this past weekend? What's going on there?
He was there getting physio. I'm fortunate I see him quite a bit. My son's in ninth grade, grade 9 at the Hill Academy, so he's his fitness instructor in this last period every day. So he's in unbelievable shape. He's been working and running since August. So we expect sometime in January. He's not helmets and gloves yet. He's just getting therapy there. But yeah, unbelievable energy. And I just think the growth of his game since his first year with the Rock to us, the buy-in defensively, is kind of off the charts. So yeah, big loss for sure. I think we lost 8 in a row after that. And yeah, his energy around the building it's contagious. So, and people don't know, he's one of those guys that really holds his teammates accountable as far as fitness and the way they're playing. And so he was a big loss, but we'll be excited to have him back. The other guy that I think he only played one game last year was Mitch Armstrong. You probably saw in the Minnow Cup. Like, it's going to be his third year in the league, but I think he's only played 7 games because of surgeries. So we're excited to get him back. He's a horse.
Yeah, it's crazy how things turned when Domini went down. You don't normally see that out of a guy out of the back end that can have that kind of a big of an impact on kind of the overall success, but that was really kind of a turning point in your season. There's a couple more guys here, Paul, that I want to touch on. I heard Deacon Knott pick something up. Was it Lax 9 maybe? And I didn't hear the seriousness of it, but it looks like he's been there and is doing okay. And the other guy is just new. Like, can you enlighten us on how
I guess
this from your side, this kind of is playing out?
First, Deacon, I was at Lax night. My son was playing, so he had a minor MCL sprain. So that was September 20th. So yeah, he was in camp full. He played half the game against Rochester, looked good. I think those two guys, Nick and Deacon, had great summers. And, they're both under 26 years old. It's not like even though Deacon's been in the league for 3 and Nick's probably 6 years in the league, they're both young goalies. So we're excited to have, the opportunity to see them in camp. And I think they had a real positive off season, mentally and physically. So we're excited about that. Yeah, Mitch, obviously, hey, we wanted him back in Philadelphia. That's the number one thing. We made a great offer in July that he was contemplating. Obviously, the CBA got pushed and pushed and pushed. And I can say I know the big thing as well. He had the opportunity you have 72 hours to reject. I think a big argument from the other side would be that, well, after August 1st, it doesn't really exist. Well, after August 1st, 4 or 5 players were franchised in the National Lacrosse League, and over 40 players were qualified. So if 45 guys are taking something to arbitration, I get it, but only one is. So in my opinion, obviously I come from a law background and spent a lot of time in court. It's always about reasonable. So, I mean, that's where we're at. It's going to be an arbitration grievance issue, but we would have loved to have him back, but unfortunately, doesn't look like it.
Okay, so I mean, if you were to come out on the right side of that, do you have like verbal or anything from him that he will sign in Philadelphia, or has he made it clear to you that he doesn't want to be there and wants to be elsewhere?
Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of conversation, obviously, since the grievances went in. he doesn't think that he can make it happen in Philadelphia schedule wise, but that all seems, that'll be, once they have an arbitration, I think we know that can take some time, then, we can sit down and see where the cards lie.
Do
But
do you have a timeline on that, Paul? Like, I mean, we're 2.5 weeks away from the start of the season. Like, I'm sure you'd like him in camp, or he'd like to be in a camp, getting ready for the start of the season.
yeah, absolutely. I think my understanding is sometime next week it's going to occur, which is pretty quick in the process. And then obviously the lawyer, the adjudicator would take some time to make a decision. But at the end of the day, hey, we would love to have him in Philly, but we understand that the league probably needs Mitch Disnew playing in the league. So, hopefully it can be taken care of quickly, the grievance process, and then from there, we'll move on. But right now we got to make sure that we're taking care of our group in camp, and that whenever that happens, the decision happens, then we'll take it from there.
From the floor to the draft room, Paul, and you guys had a good day in draft day. We'll start with your first overall pick. Your first round pick, I should say. What'd you like when you saw Bo Columbus was available? What made you take him?
Yeah, I mean, I think we definitely wanted a guy that could play, has played a lot of box lacrosse as well, so and could take face-offs. So the nice thing was that he had spent some time in St. Catharines with McCready and Ian Rubel before, so they knew him pretty well. And then his dad works at the Ontario Police College, so there is some connection through Ian Rubel works in our training unit with the Niagara Regional Police, so and Pat's a police officer too. So there was a bit of a connection with the family through lacrosse plus. So quality kid. He's a horse of a man. He is one big man, and
He's huge.
yeah, he is thick, and he's a little older rookie too. He's got quite a bit of experience. Had a great career at Robert Morris after being at Mercyhurst for a year, so taking a lot of face-offs. But he can play some D too, and he's a big man that can handle the ball. So excited to have him. Fantastic teammate. I mean, he went to Avon Old Farms, played hockey and lacrosse there. Just a real quality kid. So we're really excited to be able to get him. And that was, to be honest, at that point, if that's our target. There's other players that may have become available, but he was kind of our number one target at that position in the draft.
We have to change the team colors to blue here. You got Officer McCready and
Yeah.
Staff Sergeant Day and Ian Rubel as well, a man of the people as well. So
When we came in the league, I was like, and I don't want to talk about jersey colors or sweater colors, but our league is very black and gold and silver. I was like, nobody's red, white, and blue. I mean, the Rock are blue, but nobody's red, white, and blue. That
Washington
great color.
Power.
Yeah, like red, white, and blue would be an awesome color. Even our colors in Orlando, they were fantastic.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Well, evaluate your coaching staff a little bit here, Paul. Like I'm sure it wasn't an easy decision for you to step off the bench and strictly a general manager role, but you promote Ian Rubel, you get Tracy Koleski back, you hire Patty McCready. Talk about the job that you think they did, and maybe some things that they excelled at, and maybe you'd like to see some things done a little differently this year. I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I've been around Rubes a long time. There's probably nobody better prepared who works on, his video is crazy. He's got game video, and then he's got animation in there. So when he played for The Rock on those years when they were winning those championships, he was going to graphic design school in Toronto, be a graphic artist, but everything on computer. So he's talented that way. He's like, hey, if their player moves this way, then we're going to move our D this way, and he'll have it sorry, I keep forgetting the word, but he'll have it animation, and then he'll have a game clip. So, he's that type of person but he's very passionate about the game as well. So, very organized. And then, Patty, obviously quality guy in the NL Hall of Fame, but also, a real thinker of the game, very passionate about kind of the physical style of the game, but a guy that really used his brain not only to play defense, but to create transition. So, and I think he's very close to the guys. I think that's, he's that type of guy that loves being around the players, just like his dad. I played for his dad. Then I coached with Buff in Rochester. He's my roommate for 6 years. He was my assistant, which was crazy. Great man. So, and then TK is like the professor of the game offensively. And
Yeah.
hey, good start. I think all of our three coaches, 5-1 start, great kind of start. And then the boat got rocky, with injuries, and our offense kind of went still, and our goaltending was kind of average, below average, and then penalty trouble. So I think it was a great experience for those three to get through that period. We got through it, probably learned a lot, and really learned a lot about our personnel as well. And then, finished the season pretty good with some games against Georgia and an opportunity to get in the playoffs at the end. So, I think with exit interviews, you learn a lot about what players like, what players don't like. I think they've really taken that off-season part of the season. It's their first year as a group together, but they've taken that summer of, okay, this is what we need to change, and then take it to training camp. Not only just new personnel, but okay, we got to do things different. And it was nice to see that on the first weekend. They start with a meeting Friday night with the group, obviously Zoom meetings before that, but they've taken that and kind of learned from it, and we've seen good growth. So, I mean, at the end of the day, players are paid to play. And I think, I think I played a lot of junior, senior, and pro, and I don't know. Sometimes as a coach, you can have an unbelievable night on the bench. Like, just think of the best things to do. But at the end of the day, sometimes the players need to be able to play. And, I watch this league a lot. And this summer I watched a ton of junior games because it's such a great game. And you would have, you
It's the
spent the whole
best.
time in the booth. You
Yeah.
need players to show up and play. You need goalies to show up and stop the ball. You need goal scorers to score. You need defenders to stop people. So at the end of the day, our group as a whole didn't do that, and we've made a lot of changes to give. I think a lot of times young guys they want more, they'll ask for more. Well, we're going to give them more, but they're going to be expected to deliver. It'll be some
Yeah.
growing pains, but we're excited to see the group, burst out. And hey, I thought Brennan had a great year last year, and for a guy that didn't play on the power play till the last 5 games of the year,
Yeah.
he,
Well,
if you
spot
look,
open now, right? With no Jonesy there, he's just going to get a bigger role.
yeah, and I think if you saw the confidence he played the summer with this year, man, he
He
is,
is a beast.
yeah, and he's trim now. Like he came into camp last year, maybe thicker, like he's like a linebacker, but you'd see his upper body is, but he loves the game. Like, I mean, loves the box game, and just loves. He couldn't talk enough in exit interviews last year about the experience of playing in the NLL. And, his two favorite players growing up are like John Grant and Mark Matthews. Well, I know both those guys pretty good.
Yeah.
And he is a mixture of those, and Gary, that size, and like the sky's the limit for him. And I can't say enough of how much he loves box lacrosse.
Well, I bet he also had a fun time playing with Blaze Reardon on that left side, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, he's just a sponge. Like, he just like, hey, tell me where to go, tell me what to do, and just enjoyed it so much. And he sees the floor well. And hey, listen, he needs to learn a lot, just like all of our young guys. But they're gonna get a great opportunity here to take the keys to the car and really drive it.
Well, you have a lot of Americans on your roster. What is it, Paul, about, having their field lacrosse background and applying it to the box that makes them, such a versatile and lethal player like O'Neill, like Reardon, and, you mentioned, Sowers coming in as well.
Yeah, I think the biggest, hardest part for the first probably 2 or 3 weeks to a month with them, and this was the same with Rambo, is they come in and they try to be like a Canadian, but no, we want you to come in and be Matt Rambo. We want you to come in to be Dalton Young, because what they do on the floor is different than, Eric Fennell or whatever Canadian. We don't want you to be Canadian because the defenders know that. So I think it's really important that they come in and be themselves. And with TK, obviously he runs Evolve Lacrosse, which is a field program, played college, played in the MLL. So he can speak both languages to make sure that they know that their field skills, we want them used. Like, we don't want them to turn into a box player. We want them, same as you watch Tom Schreiber in Toronto. He's just Tom Schreiber. He's not,
Switching hands when he
yeah,
needs to, and yeah.
that is really the biggest progress that you have to really, no, don't worry about the pick and roll here. You'll figure that out. We'll teach you, but beat the guy underneath, like split dodge, Jake Berge. Like, this is the stuff that we want to see out of them. And I think, I think they understand that. And, this first full camp, kind of for all of them as players that are going to play, they're going to really get that opportunity to grow and to really use that. And I know like years ago, when we beat Philadelphia, you'd have Bill Miller, field lacrosse player from Hobart, and these guys come down split dodge. We've never seen a split dodge, and they, switch hands
Left
and
you in your
score. But
dust, yeah.
yeah, and they'd be like the New York Saints at one time. They had an unbelievable team in 1998. They didn't win in 98, but they were,
Zambrano.
yeah, they had an unbelievable team, and they played like field guys. It was so difficult to defend. So, I think obviously being in Philly, there's always that opportunity to use U.S. guys that have some experience, like Dalton played box growing up. Mikey Sowers played for Adam Mueller since he was in the first grade, box across. Adam Mueller, for people who don't know, obviously great player in Detroit, great coach in the NLL, coach of the year, lives in Philly. Dalton grew up playing box. Brennan grew up playing box. So they're not unfamiliar with the game. It's just at this level, it's not like they played junior A, but they are
Bring back
definitely,
the turbos. Bring back the turbos.
yes, please. Yeah, that was a great place.
Listen, I'll end off with this, Paul. Like, usually Philadelphia has had a pretty funky schedule over the last couple of years, and I don't think that is any different from what I'm looking at this year. Some weird start times, a couple of Sundays, middays. It's been tough to get prime time dates and times there at Wells Fargo, and we had Commissioner Brett Fruit on last week and, kind of brought up the situation in Philadelphia, which seems to be a little bit in flux right now as far as ownership goes, Paul. And I don't know how much you can speak to this or kind of peel the curtain back here a little bit and let us know what's going on. But a lot of people, and in particular Wings fans, which are a very passionate bunch there in Philadelphia, are worried about losing their team a year from now. I've heard some good things. I've heard some bad things. What can you tell us about the situation in Philadelphia for this year and then years beyond?
Well, I think scheduling wise, December, January are tough. If the Eagles are good, and they're good, it's tough to get people
They weren't that good last night. They won, Paul, but they weren't that good last night.
They
But
screwed
that's
me on my
tough.
picks.
December and January, it's like tough. It'd be like being in Texas trying to play a lacrosse game on a Friday night. So it is tough. So the Saturday afternoon, the Friday nights in January, I think are going to be good because we stay away from the tailgates on Sundays for Saturday night in Philly. But, it's business as usual here. We're doing all of our training camp at the track this year, I think, which is great. And here's the one thing that I'm saying about that is sometimes we go to Philly, but we have guys who live in Philly. They go home. Well, now everybody's at the track. Canadians, Americans, we're all in the same hotel. We're spending the entire weekends together, which is good. And obviously, the majority of our team is from the GTA, so that does help financially for us as a group. Not that we're doing it for that region, but we're there. Great facility. We get to play good teams every week, and our Philly guys get to actually stay in the hotel and hang out with us. And I think that's good. So it is business as usual. And, as passionate as our fans are, so is the organization. And I think, we're going to have a guy like Mike Sowers working in the community this year, which he never got to last year. I think, he's probably the most popular lacrosse player in the Philadelphia area and one of the most popular, obviously, in the United States. So we look for positive things to happen this year in the community, and we look for some young guys to really make an impact. And I know our office is hard at work. I know sponsorships up this year. So I know just talking last week, having some meetings, or definitely their sponsorship group is up. So, things are
butts in seats for Wings games will send a message to whoever it needs to be sent to. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, absolutely. And the crazy thing, like I said, we were 5-1 last year, and our crowds weren't as great, and the Eagles were really, really good. And in January, we're 5-1. People are going to spend their money at the Eagles game. Unfortunately, that's the reality. Then we lost 8 in a row, and our crowds got better. So if I think not playing.
That's not a good recipe, but I hear what you're saying.
No, but
that's not what you want to do.
Yeah, not playing 4 games in January this year at home is going to be good. We're playing 2 games in January. We get into that February, March, April. We get some games later in the season at home. We look to have a much better crowd in those games. So hey, we're starting at home on that December 13th against Colorado, which is great. It's a team that we haven't seen a lot. I think it'll be an awesome opportunity to really have our young guys compete. Plus, let's not forget we're bringing guy like Chris Corbeil who's been an unbelievable leader in this league. So we're excited to see what he can do with the young guys and some of our new players.
All right, man. Where just before we let you go, where do you come out on lengthening the schedule and maybe flipping the calendar so you're not going up against the Sixers and the Flyers and the Eagles? What do you think about that? I know it hurts your beloved Peterborough Lakers a little bit, Paul, but
I'm of the opinion that, I'm myself, some old guys in this league, we're all of the opinion, we'll get on TV in the summertime, easier travel, we can get a couple games in a weekend, and then the WLA and the MSL and all those leagues can be really for the young guys, that are coming out of Junior A and coming out of the NCAA, almost like the American Hockey League. There'd be other teams, there'd be other buildings are not full in the summer. There's other organizations, I'm sure, NHL teams that would be like, yeah, we'll take a tenant in the summer because the concerts are usually across at the baseball field or the football stadium. So
yeah.
I'm
you're on board, is what I'm hearing. You're on board.
Yeah, I'm on board, but I know we're years away from that, and I'll probably be watching my son and some other friends of his playing in the league by then, driving an RV to the games.
Don't count yourself out too quick here, Paul. As always, appreciate your time here on Lacrosse Classified. Rest up. I know you had a little surgery there, so rest up. And I feel like Philadelphia can be one of those teams that, like you said, nobody's talking about, but all of a sudden they could make some noise. So good luck this season.
Thanks, fellas. Thanks for everything you do for lacrosse.
Oh, our pleasure, man. There you go. There he is, general manager of the Philadelphia Wings, Paul Day. And as I suspected, Lucas, still no sign of Kurt Stiers as of yet. It's not looking good. But we appreciate Paul Day's time, and we still got more to come here on this podcast. So we're back after this. Quarter 3 is next.
Associated Labels and Packaging, a fun family company that offers premium quality labels and packaging with unparalleled service. With 40 years of experience, an extensive product catalog, and an ever-growing fleet of equipment, Associated Labels and Packaging is the perfect fit to take your labels and packaging to the next level.
Hey, this is NLL Hall of Famer Patty McCready. You're listening to Lax Class, your go-to source for all things NLL and box lacrosse.
Halftime is over. Welcome back to Lax Class. Jay Kelly, Lucas Archer with you into the third quarter. And like I mentioned, no word from Mr. Stiers. So we will move into the third quarter and bring you the Lax Class Lock of the Week coming up here, but not before I implore you to follow the podcast on the X at Lax Class Podcast. You can do so on the Instagram at Lacrosse Classified. You can follow us on Facebook. Lacrosse Classified there as well. LacrosseClassified@gmail.com is where you get a hold of us if you just are one of those email people. Follow, subscribe, share, review, do all the stuff wherever you do the stuff, and give us a follow on social media as well at PXP for Sports and at Larger Sports, as we would appreciate you doing all of that. Now, Lucas, NLL features time for the Lax Class Lock of the Week.
Lock of the week. Hey, let's lock and load it. Oh! Yeah!
I am going to be a very rich dude.
Ooh, it's a big lock, all right.
Lax Class Lock of the Week is brought to you by Coolbet Canada, and third quarter action is brought to you by Associated Labels and Packaging. Forgot to mention that. So we're going to do that right now. Associated Labels and Packaging, AssociatedLP.com is where you want to go if you need a label or you need a package for whatever it is that needs a label or a package. AssociatedLP.com, technology, catalog, environment, family, experience, all key buzzwords for Associated Labels and Packaging. All right, now Coolbet, Lax Class Lock of the Week. Coolbet.com is where you want to go after you've gone to AssociatedLP.com. Go over to Coolbet.com. Sign yourself up for an account. Put in the bonus code LAXClass. Get free money up to $200 on your first deposit. They just match you. Bam. You don't even have to, besides putting in the bonus code LAXClass, one word, for $200 free of spending money on the Coolbet website, That seems like a pretty easy thing to take advantage of, if you ask me. Just typing out the word Lax Class for $200.
9
No-brainer.
characters.
Yeah, that's it. So do that and then stay cool and bet responsibly. We have pieced together a little player prop parlay, the triple P here, the player prop parlay for the NLL season. Our good buddy Evan Schemenauer, Lucas, every year requests, demands that Pat Gregoire put up a player prop for Kyle Rubish. Not Ian, that'd be something. Kyle Rubish to score a goal or how many points he's going to have this year. They have set the total for Big Rubes at 1. Half a goal. Can Rubish score once this year? I say he can. Do it, Rubes. I need it. 1 goal out of you this year. We're taking the over. And I think we're getting pretty good plus money there. I think it was like plus 200 for Rubish to score. I just feel like maybe San Diego wasn't the right place for him to do that. Now he's closer to home, a little less travel. I think he's going to feel a little more confident. He's going to have more people in the stands watching him, wanting daddy to score a goal here. Take your chances when you get it, Kyle, and shoot the ball. 5-hole, baby. You know where you're going. Rubish over half a goal. So give us 1. Christian Del Bianco, the phenom, the best passing of the ball goaltender in the National Lacrosse League. They've set the total at his, I think it's assists. It might just be point. It might be points. So he can score as well. Don't put that past him this year. But they've set it at 16.5. That's less than 1 point per game. He is going to knock this one right out of Rogers Arena. I'm saying he's getting over 20 points this year.
I'll say 23 is what he gets. He's going to smash the over on this.
They're giving
I don't know why it's set so low. It should be at least a point per game.
Man, he almost got that in the 6-7 games that he played last year. I don't think he's ever gotten less than 17 or 18 in his career. We're getting it at 16.5. Thank you very much, Polar Bears. Finally, we got to go to your hometown in Oshawa. Firewolves sophomore Dyson Williams scored 26 last year. They got him at 25.5 this year. I don't see Dyson Williams regressing from his rookie season. I think that Firewolves team's going to be good. They got lots of firepower around him. I think Big 51 gets at least 26 goals this year. Rubish 1, Dyson 26, Del Bianco 17, and we bring the Coolbet Jumbo Bucks to the classmates with this NLL Futures parlay.
Gonna be a fun one. Rubish, come on, buddy. Just
He's
one.
got it. He's got it.
He does.
Like, and I think when he'll go a year without scoring, he always scores the next year. And I don't think he scored a goal last year. So this is going to happen for sure.
It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Going to be watching him a lot this year in Oshawa and Dyson Williams as well. I know you'll be getting your looks and a lot of them at Del Bianco. And again, you said it, Jake, with every podcast that comes out, we're one step closer to November 29th.
Yeah.
28th, the 28th.
Friday. Yeah, I don't know what
Friday.
we're going to do next. So we'll figure out next week. But lock it in. Lax Class Lock of the Week. One more quarter to go here on EP364. It's quarter number 4, and it's a little time for Who You Got.
Hey, this is Connor Field. You're listening to Lacrosse Classified, your go-to source for all things NLL and box lacrosse.
It's time once again to play your favorite podcast game. Who you got? All right, quarter 4. Who are you?
Who?
Oh, that was you can't hold the last two. Like it's just a who, and then that's it. There's no who. There's
I was in between Who and Big Focus, so I apologize, classmates. I screwed that up this week.
We got room for improvement. Also brought to you by Coolbet and Mohawk Lacrosse. Coolbet providing the weekly prizes. And I will tell you, Mohawk is, in fact, confirmed. I got the text last week, Lucas.
Let's go.
Handcrafted Hickory Woody, courtesy of Mohawk Lacrosse for the grand champion. Kitsilano Greasers won it last year. We'll see who wins it this year. And it is up for grabs more than ever, I will say, is kind of had a look at it just yesterday, I want to say, and we're well up over 100 people signed up now. And I listen, though, this is the other thing, is that I know how many people generally listen to this podcast on a weekly basis. There's still a lot of you classmates out there that are not. So a lot of you classmates out there that are not signed up to Who You Got. Just get signed up. You can even do this, folks, and I might have even done this myself. You can sign up with more than one account. Danny has kind of done that over the last couple of years, Lucas. She's got her regular handle and then her alias. You can click on the name and you can see who it is. But Subshot Sal is her other handle. So I thought, well, maybe I'll just make a second one as well. Subshot Sally. So we got Subshot Sal and Subshot Sally now in the field for this year's Who You Got. But get signed up. Don't delay, because I'll tell you what happens. You think, oh, yeah, I'll do that. I'll get to it. And then all of a sudden it'll be November the 28th, and you're going to miss the game and be like, oh, man, I haven't signed up for Who You Got yet. And you're already going to be down a pick. So just do it now. Even make your picks and then hit save so you don't even have to think or worry about it for the next 2.5 weeks. Just get it done.
You heard them. Do them. Don't think about them. It's going to be fun, though. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be my first full season of this for Who You Got, Jake. So I'm going to do better than I did last year. It hasn't happened yet, but I know you, Funky, and I need to hammer out the details of our side bet. That's got to get sorted out. I know I've been behind on that. I'm slacking. But it's going to be fun, and I know it's going to be even better when I do better than you this year.
Confidence pool. Starting the shit talk already. Confidence pool. If you need any kind of help or anything, you can find the link to the pool in both our X and Instagram bios. They're in our link tree there. If you were in the pool last year, just go right back to where you found it and you'll see it there. Who You Got with 2 T's. You can get signed up. You can add more than one if you want to do that as well, and have some fun with us this NLL season. All right, we're down. Well, I don't know what's going to happen here, Lucas. We're down to Halifax, Las Vegas, and Vancouver. I plan to have Vegas and Vancouver on next week, so I don't know what's going to happen here with Halifax. So we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe we'll squeeze them in the following week. But we roll on. We're getting close. Season will be here before you know it. I want to thank Paul Day for coming on from the Philadelphia Wings. I want to thank our sponsors, Associated Labels and Packaging, Rycor Construction, Edge Dynamics, the Goalie Factory, Coolbet, and Mohawk Lacrosse for their sponsorship and support here on the show. To you, the classmate, of course. Without you, there is no podcast, so appreciate all the classmates listening each and every week. And we'll be back next week with Lax Class 365. For Lucas, RJ, Ben, Jake Ellen, for the fastest game on 2 feet, and for the Crater, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay classified.